The next value is nutrient storage and recycling, and regulation and protection of water resources, and maintenance of ecosystem. You might have studied in your lower classes about nutrient cycles, that is carbon cycle, phosphorus cycle, sulfur cycle, and water cycles. All these cycles you might have seen. These nutrients, um, the organisms, all organisms or depend on one another for their survival. These organisms are linked by the flow of nutrients, which is engineered by the nutrient cycle. And like uh, through photosynthesis, plants they produce nutrients, and they are eaten by herbivores, and from herbivores the nutrients are passed to carnivores, and when all these die, they are decomposed and break down, and the organic matter is released into the soil, and this organic matter again taken up by the plant for growth. So this nutrient cycle, it is a continuous cycle. Likewise, the regulation and protection of water resource, like the plants, they through transpiration, they release so much of amount of water vapor into the atmosphere, along with this water evaporated from the oceans and other water bodies, and they contribute to the water cycle. That's how they also maintain the nutrient storage, and all these nutrients as well as water is recycled. Now, coming to the maintenance of ecosystems. Biodiversity is very, very essential for ecosystem functioning as well. And uh, the biodiversity not only allow survival, but also keep a balance between living things, and also the food resources or food or other resources um, needed by these living things for their survival. Ecosystems, these biodiversity also maintain these ecosystems and also balance the maintenance of the water, and maintenance of the food and all other things. For example, plant life is essential for maintenance of water, and it is also essential to maintain oxygen carbon dioxide balance of the atmosphere, and thus it helps maintain the planet in a state which is self-sustaining. So this complex nature of ecosystem relationships, if there is any disturbance in these ecosystems, that will lead to disturbance in one part of the ecosystem, that will any disturbance in one part of the ecosystem will lead to or it will affect the functioning of many other components of the ecosystem. That's how they maintain a balance. That means if there is any disturbance in one part of the ecosystem, that will affect the other components of the ecosystems too. So these ecosystem, they'll try to strike a balance between all the living things and all the food or any other resources they provide, they require. So this maintains a balance. Now, coming to the contribution to the climate stability and pollution breakdown and absorption value of the biodiversity. Uh, Amongst the ecosystem services supported by biodiversity is climate regulation. This is very, very important um, value of biodiversity, I can say. Climate change and biodiversity are interconnected because we all know vegetation, like plants, they influence climate at macro and micro level, both macro and micro level. For example, forests are natural regulators of carbon dioxide. They absorb greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and other things. And this carbon dioxide, it is used in photosynthesis. And the excess carbon dioxide, whatever is present, will be sequestered uh, into this is sequestered the excess carbon dioxide emission that fuel the that means that for example, we all know forests are natural regulators of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. Whatever the carbon dioxide, excessive carbon dioxide that is present in the atmosphere is absorbed by the plants, and that's how they sequester the um, excess carbon dioxide emissions that accelerate the climate change, and that's how they reduce global warming, because increased carbon dioxide emissions in the atmosphere leads to global warming and climate change, because these plants, they absorb excess whatever the carbon dioxide that is in the atmosphere, they absorb and used in the nutrient cycling. That's how the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is sequestered. That's how they maintain a balance in the ecosystem, and they contribute to climate stability. But if we cut down forest or remove grasslands, this will result in concentration of carbon dioxide in the Earth's atmosphere. That will lead to eventually that will leads to climate change and global warming. So the next important value of biodiversity is pollution breakdown or pollution absorption. The ecosystems and ecological processes, they play a crucial role or play a very important role in breakdown and absorption of many pollutants created by humans and their activities. We all know uh, uh, the natural production and maintenance of clean air is important for overall human health and well-being. What these forests and oceans they do is they act as carbon sinks, because the uh, algae or the flora present in oceans and the forest, they absorb um, the excess carbon dioxide, and also uh, they help produce clean air. These natural resources, such as wetlands, trees, and soil, they filter many pollutants from air. And some of this pollutant includes carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxides, and particulate matter, ozone, etc. Uh, and approximately 75%, that means by weight, of 1 lakh chemicals released into the environment can be degraded by biological organisms and are potential targets of both bioremediation and biotreatment. Using biotreatments and bioremediation, many pollution sites, these microorganisms, they break down the pollution levels. uh, this is called as bioremediation. Even sometimes you might have seen oil spills in the oceans. This is by big ships. Accidentally they spill oil in the oceans, and at these sites, many some microorganisms are used as to eat away all the oil, and that is called as bioremediation. Even the polluted soils can be reclaimed back by using bioremediation process. So that's how pollution breakdown and absorption um, services are done by uh, biodiversity.